How's it going, guys? This is Andrew, the wine wizard Wisniewski, winemaker at Orfila Vineyards. We're here at Holiday Wine Cellar, one of my favorite wine shops in the area, in Escondido. You know, buying wine can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes, so we're here to break it down for you guys, debunk how to pick out the perfect bottle of wine for any occasion. So there's a lot that goes into picking out a bottle of wine. You've got varieties, you've got vintages, you've got different countries. Everything just depends on what you're pairing it with and or what stylistically you're looking for. So we want to touch on the point system. You can see several bottles here. Underneath the tag, they have various points associated with some of the wines. Publications that are giving these points. These are sometimes helpful for consumers, especially one that is a little bit more wine savvy, that knows these publications and maybe trusts their judgment based off of previous wines that they've had that they bought off of some of these scores. I would definitely say that these publications are stylistically tailored. You know, Wine Advocate, which is historically Robert Parker, his style in wines tends to be a little bit richer, riper, bolder stylistically. And then you have publications like the Wine Spectator that have been around for generations, and I think they're fairly neutral when it comes to scoring wines and their approach. They don't really have any bias. I think most publications don't want to have bias, but I think inherently there are stylistic decisions as far as point scores. Wine and Spirits is also like a really good publication that I think is very neutral when it comes to scoring points, but I wouldn't lean too much into points. I think points they can help you from a marketing standpoint as a winery, but it's not the end-all be-all. It's very subjective. I think take wine scores with a grain of salt.
From a more objective standpoint.
Objective, okay.
How do you pick out a quality wine?
First thing I think about really is, what is this wine meant for? Am I drinking this wine on its own, or is there a meal that I'm preparing? Like I'm having duck, which I just had duck for Thanksgiving, and I thought about what in my cellar did I want to pair with that duck, and for me, Pinot Noir, slam dunk pairing. Also, my guests, what do my guests like? Pinot Noir, you can get Pinot Noir from a multitude of places: Oregon, California, New Zealand, Burgundy, France, Patagonia, Argentina, Chile. So you've got like a multitude of places that kind of have their own stylistic representations of the same variety. So it can be complex, but to really condense it down, am I drinking it on its own or am I having it with food? If I'm drinking it on its own, you know, you really want something that's going to be approachable and easy without having an accompaniment of food. When you have food, you typically want a wine that has like more acidity, a little bit more structure. For instance, I was talking about duck. Duck is fatty, it's rich, and so having a Pinot Noir that has really good acidity, has some tannin, some structure to really kind of cut through that fattiness is. So we're looking for a wine that's going to complement our steak dinner. We're going to have a ribeye, so it's going to be a fatty piece of meat. We want something that has structure, that has acidity, that's going to cut through that fattiness, but is going to be rich enough to really match it. Ooh, okay. Jet is an up-and-coming winery in Walla Walla Valley of Washington. Walla Walla is an amazing, diverse kind of landscape of wines. This particular vintage is 2021. You guys know how I feel about the 21s. I love them. Washington, they have this beautiful diurnal shift. So they get 50-degree temperature swings between the lows in the night and the highs during the day. So that really helps to lock in the acidity and keep those tannins nice and structured, while the warmth during the day gets that rich opulence of fruit that they're known to have. So this is something that I would recommend, but let's go find some other gems. So, value play. Domestically, I sometimes have trouble finding like the best like quality for price point, but Spain. Spain is, I don't want to say it's a sleeper because I think it's becoming well more regarded for their quality, for their price point. But Spain, specifically, in my opinion, Western Spain, Bierzo region, where Mencia is the main grape varietal, killer value, crazy great quality. Another great value, you know, we make a ton of Syrah at Orfila, and it's really fun to kind of explore Syrah around different regions. And one of the main regions that puts Syrah on the map is in the Northern Rhone. So this is Crozes-Hermitage, one of my go-to when it comes to Syrah that is coming from the old world. Great value for wines as well. 22 to 30 bucks for a bottle of Syrah that will knock your socks off. These Syrahs are a little bit more, you know, when I talk about old world, stylistically, they're more earthy, they're more savory, they have more dimension, I would say, typically have a little bit more structure, higher acidity than what we see domestically. But with food, these are knockouts. So as far as a value play and something that I would do with a steak as well, so if I didn't want that Walla Walla cab that we picked up, something like this would stand up to a steak easily for a fraction of the price.
If somebody's trying to get a bottle for under $15, what would your priority be?
So if you're looking to get a bottle for under $15, things that you really look for, in my opinion, is producer. Region, producer. Typically the bigger trusted producers are very reliable at delivering a similar quality, vintage in, vintage out. If you're savvy enough into wine, vintages matter. So looking for vintages that are stronger vintages, and some of those regions that maybe are a little less known, that could be a good value play. So our goal was to find a daily drinker. This is Monastral from Spain. If you guys don't know, Monastral is actually Mourvedre. It's one of the Rhone Valley varieties. So, you know, a lot of people are familiar with GSM blends, Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre. So this is one of the varieties that typically accompany those blends. So this is coming from southeastern Spain. Mourvedre typically has very like dark black fruits, typically super spicy, has like really good structure and great acidity. So this is like a really good daily drinking wine. Tends to have some pretty rich, ripe, opulent fruit as well. Also, when in doubt, like there's great wine stewards here that pick out all these wines, chat at them, figure out like what's the best bang for the buck, let them know your stylistic preference, and they're gonna help guide you to the right path. But for me, who kind of knows what I'm after and knows what my budget is, this is a pick that I would go for. $17.99. Cheers. So if I had to pick a runner-up, I'm going with a region that doesn't get a lot of love, but is up and coming and is really close to San Diego. This is from Baja California, from the Valle de Guadalupe. This is Kvass Valmar. So this is a fanciful blend of 25% Nebbiolo, 25% Syrah, 25% Cabernet Sauvignon, and 25% Merlot. Normally those varieties don't necessarily play well together, but in this particular case, amazing. So you have traditional Italian varieties with Northern Rhone varieties, Bordeaux varieties. That's what I love about New World. It's kind of like the Wild West. There's no rules. I mean, there's kind of rules, but they're loose. Play loose and fast. Yeah, up and coming region, killer quality for price point. If your local wine shop has some wines from Valle de Guadalupe, suggest it. So now we're looking for a bottle of wine sub $10. This is going to be challenging because it is incredibly difficult to make a wine for less than $10. The raw materials of the grapes, the glass, the packaging, the bottling, and all the labor that goes into it. Let's see what our options are. Let's see if we find anything that we're gonna put a rubber stamp on. So we haven't talked a lot about whites, but we're in San Diego. It's beautiful all the time. I think it's actually 85 degrees right now. Sometimes it's hard to drink red wines, you know, when it's so warm. So let's change it up. We found a white wine, beautiful white wine from Mendoza, Argentina, Torrontés, which is a beautiful, aromatic, fresh, floral white wine that is perfect for this kind of day. And it comes in at $9.99.
I don't got no real estate.
This place is dope. Wine shops. If you have one of these systems, you're doing it right. This is an Eno-matic system, so this allows consumers to try wines before they buy them. And I'm sure they select a handful of different wines from different regions to showcase. But what this does is you can try a 1 ounce pour, a glass, or half a glass, or a glass. This particular bottle of wine from Washington State is a $130 bottle of wine. For somebody to just show up and be like, I'm gonna buy a $130 bottle of wine, that's ambitious. But this allows you to taste that same wine for a fraction of the price. So you get an idea of what some of these like more expensive, more kind of luxurious wines are. I don't got no real estate and nobody knows my name. This is a beautiful bottle of wine. Dominus, Napa Valley, one of the few wineries, Napa, that have a very old world stylistic approach. They are owned by the winery Petrus in Bordeaux, which is known as one of the best wines in the world.
So that wine has 100 points, huh?
100 points.
Is that common?
100 points is not common at all. I think there's like a fraction of a percent of wines that are, it's probably like 0.0025% of wines that are like perfect. And this particular wine, it's not just perfect for Wine Advocate. I believe this vintage across the board got 100 points from several different wine reviewers, which is like unheard of. So I have $100 to spend here from this room. I think I'm just gonna try to buy one bottle, a very special bottle. Let's see what we can get ourselves into. So I picked out my bottle of wine that I had $100 to spend, and guess how much I spent on it? $99.99. This is a bottle of Bubs, the vintage champagne 2015 from Louis Roediger, which is a classic champagne house. They also make Cristal, if you know what that is. Yeah? P. Diddy? No? Okay. Too soon? Sorry. Where's the baby oil? Where's the baby? No, okay. All right. So this wine is beautiful on its own before dinner, or if you want to have it with some oysters, some sushi, some popcorn, some candy. Champagne literally goes with anything, and it's why it's one of my favorite things to drink. So I think I'm gonna go home with this today. That was awesome. They had killer selection. We picked out some great wines at different price points, and when in doubt, talk to your wine steward. They have incredible amount of knowledge and can help you get situated at every price point that you're looking for every occasion. This is Andrew signing off. Make sure to boop that little subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next video. Cheers.